You have heard it 1,000 times. Longer content works better on Google. But is that really true? Does word count really matter for SEO, or is that just a myth? In this video, we are going to settle the debate on one of the most controversial topics in the SEO world and explain why it's, well, not so straightforward. So stick around, because by the end, you will know how to approach content length for the best results in SEO. So there are two camps on this issue. One says, no, word count is not a ranking factor and it doesn't matter for SEO. And then the other camp says, yes, it definitely matters and longer posts and pages perform better. So which is it? Here's the truth. They're both right. Now, I know this is a maddening answer, but there is an explanation, and understanding it will go a long way in helping you to get to those coveted top positions in the Google search results. So let's get into it. Hi guys, I'm Robin, your B2B marketing bestie, and as a former B2B agency leader, I would manage a team of content writers. And for a while, I was a content writer myself. So this is a question that I would face a lot. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. At the time, I didn't really want this to be true because I just didn't want to write a crazy long blog post when I thought I could cover the topic in fewer words. So I scoured everything that I could find on the topic, and through my research and my own personal experience, I uncovered a lot of revealing insights about SEO and word count. So let's talk about why this debate even exists in the first place. So the reason this isn't so straightforward is because on the one hand, you've got John Mueller, who is the search advocate at Google, stating plainly in this Reddit thread that word count is not a ranking factor. And he has reinforced that statement many times. But on the other hand, there are numerous studies that have confirmed that longer blog posts and pages do in fact get higher rankings in Google. For example, content marketing giant HubSpot did a study and found that the ideal length for a blog post that is intended to generate leads, that is, bring in organic traffic, was 2,500 words. And that's a pretty long blog post. So what gives? Google themselves say that word count is not a ranking factor, but the data says that longer posts actually do get ranked higher. So here's the deal. Word count is not technically a ranking factor in Google, meaning Google does not look at two web pages. One has a higher word count, one has a lower word count, and it automatically ranks this higher word count higher in the rankings. But while word count itself is not a direct ranking factor, it can play an indirect role. Meaning there are many reasons why a longer piece of content can influence the search rankings. And let's go over what those are. So one of the most important reasons that a longer post can influence search rankings is user engagement. User engagement is definitely a ranking factor for Google, and we know that Google tracks user engagement metrics. And so what do we mean by user engagement? So user engagement are signals that the person visiting your website is, well, engaging with it. So for example, if someone comes to your website and they stay on it for a long time, then they are engaging with it for longer. Time on page is actually a user engagement metric that Google tracks. Because if they stay on that page for a while, then that shows Google that they found something there that they found valuable. And that is a signal to Google that it is a high quality site that deserves a top ranking. Other engagement metrics can be how many pages they visited, or how much they interacted with other elements on the page, or clicked on other links. Now, by contrast, if somebody came to your page and then left after 5 seconds, they clicked that back button and just bounced out, then that is telling Google that they didn't find anything valuable there, and that that is not a relevant page, at least not for that particular search query. And therefore, it will rank it lower for that search query. All right, so now what does this have to do with word count or page length? Well, a longer page with, say, 1,500 words is just by nature going to take longer to read than a page with, say, 500 words. And so that means they're going to be staying on that page for longer reading it, and that is going to increase that user engagement metric. Of course, there are other ways to keep visitors on the page for longer, like videos that they can watch or infographics that they can interact with. But here's the thing. The key here is that it needs to be quality content, not just long content. Because visitors are not going to stick around and read your content if it's poor quality, meaning it's poorly written or poorly designed, or just has a lot of fluff that isn't relevant to them. So you need to put yourself in the searcher's shoes. If you're searching for, say, ERP software, for example, what are you going to want to know? Probably things like what it is, how it works, the benefits, what to look for in ERP software, maybe how it compares with other software, etc. So you need to make sure that your page is providing thorough coverage of the topic. So think of it this way: the more comprehensive and relevant your content is to that target keyword, the more likely it is that you are going to satisfy that user's search query and keep them engaged. And this may translate to a higher ranking in Google. By the way, if you're enjoying this post, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel so you can get more tips on SEO and B2B marketing. Now, another reason why longer content might influence rankings is backlinks. A backlink is a link from an external website to your website or blog. And Google does take number of backlinks into consideration when ranking your site, with more links generally considered better. A study by Ahrefs found that pages with longer content got more backlinks on average. And this may have to do with users finding that the more comprehensive the content, the more valuable it is, and therefore the more likely they are to direct their audiences to it through a backlink. And this is why Google considers backlinks such an important ranking factor. If other websites, especially high authority websites, are linking to your website, then that's a good sign that it's a high quality site. So longer content may lead to more backlinks, which may result in a higher ranking on Google. And the last reason longer content might influence rankings is context. A longer page can often provide more context to Google, so it has more information on which to base its rankings. Longer content can provide more in-depth information, cover subtopics, and include more relevant keywords. And this creates contextual authority, where your page gives Google a complete picture of the topic. So longer posts give more context, which helps Google rank your page. Now, all that said, there are some search queries that just don't require a long answer. For example, if someone types in how to reset my router, they don't necessarily need a 2,000-word essay. But if you're doing SEO to attract leads to a B2B product or service, chances are you're going to need some longer content to really satisfy that user's search query. Now, a good way to see how long your content needs to be for a given keyword is to open an incognito window on your browser and then type in that keyword. Then click on the top 3 to 4 organic results and see how long their word counts are. Now, I know you're not going to want to count every single word by hand on a web page, and I certainly wouldn't, so I do have a trick that you can use. So go to this website, it's webcounter.net, and I will leave a link in the description box below, and then paste in the page's URL. Boom, gives you the web count right there. And once you've done this for the top 3 to 5 search results, then you'll get a better idea of how long your content should be. Because think about it, these are the sites that Google has already ranked high in those top 5 positions. So that's what Google is looking for, and chances are they have provided comprehensive coverage of that topic. So the short answer to the question, does word count matter in SEO, is technically no, but truthfully yes, but only if it's high quality, relevant content that satisfies the user's search query. So what has your experience been with word count in SEO? Has longer content ranked better for you? I'd love to hear your stories, and so would other B2B marketers, so leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and please join our B2B community by hitting that subscribe button so you can get more tips on B2B marketing that will help you grow your business. I'll see you in the next video.